Hi there, and welcome to part 3 of How to Read Music. Today we're going to talk about understanding rhythm. The song has been on my brain. Let's see if you know what the song is. You'll have to tell me in the comments if you recognize the name of that song. We're going to talk about rhythm today. So, part 1, we talked about how to read notes on a page. And then part 2, we talked about the keyboard and how it's laid out. Today, we're going to talk about rhythm. And so, I want to show you some basics to rhythm that are going to help you navigate this for your piano student. These are called quarter notes here. And so, we have these different kinds of notes that sit on the music. And these are one of the most common notes that you'll see. It is a round black circle, and we call this a stem. In music, like apples have a stem or a rose has a stem. In music, these are called stem as well. And they are worth 1 count each. And so if you see these, they go 1, 2, 3, 4. They're just worth 1 count, like 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's how long you hold them. And those are called quarter notes, okay? Sometimes with my students, I call these jelly donuts on a stick because that's what they look like to me. The second kind of note we have looks a little different than the quarter note. It's right here, and it's called the half note. It's just not filled in the middle, so I call this donut on a stick. It is worth 2 counts. So in this rhythm, you would go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or you can say quarter, quarter, half note. Quarter, quarter, half note. Quarter, quarter, half note. Quarter, quarter, half note. See how it holds a little bit longer? So that holds for 2 counts. So we've got the quarter note and the half note so far. This is the big guy. This is the whole note, and it is simply an oval or a circle with the middle not filled in. That's called a whole note, and it is worth 4. And I usually tell my students to say whole note, hold it, 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 like that. So we've got, so far we have quarter notes, half notes, and whole notes. There's a couple of different ones also. This is called a dotted half note, and it's worth 3 counts. The dot here just takes the note value and adds 50% of itself to it. So a half note is worth 2 counts, and if you take half of it, which is 1, and you say 2 plus 1, basic math, you've got the dotted half note. So this one would go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's usually tied with a quarter note in 4/4 time, and to give it a full measure. Okay, so that's the dotted half note. These are fun. These are little guys. They're called eighth notes. And you play these faster. They are, and an easy way to say this would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. They take the quarter note and divide it in half, and it's called an eighth note. And so it gets half of one beat. So you usually see them paired together, and you'll see it in faster music. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Those are eighth notes. So this is when we start to get into a little bit faster rhythms. They look exactly like a quarter note, except they're joined at the top. If they are by themselves, they have a little flag here that comes down, but these are beamed at the top, and those are eighth notes. Occasionally you'll see in music, you'll have what I call the lightning bolt, and this is called a quarter rest. And that just means that you do not play in those beats. So you're going to go 1 rest, 2 rest, 1 rest, 2 rest, 1 rest, 2, 2, like that. So there's some breath or some silence in the music to give it some time where you don't play. Those are called quarter rests. I call them the lightning bolts because we're from Tampa and we like the bolts. Next, this is an easy way for you to remember how to do this, how to divide them. We have Legos around our house. Our boys are in primetime Lego phase. And so aside from me stepping on these and causing a lot of pain in the middle of the night, this is a good way to help us remember. So the whole note is the biggest note you can have. It's worth 4 count, and it's up here at the top. The dotted half note is here, it gets 3. And if you pair that with a quarter note, it gets 4 total. 2 half notes together is 2 plus 2, and that equals 4. A little bit more complex rhythm that I won't go over right now, but it's the dotted quarter note, and that gets a beat and a half, and that's usually partnered with an 8th note. And so the dot here adds half of its value. So the quarter note's worth 1, and it adds 1/2 to it. The next one here is the quarter notes, and those are worth 1 each. And then the last one is 8th notes, and those are half a beat each. So if you add all 8 of those together, it equals the whole note. I'm happy to give you a copy of this if you would like it. So just let me know if that's something you're interested in. It helps my brain to think in these terms about the whole note and down all the way to the 8th note. This is a page that I use with students, and these are just rhythm sheets. The number 1 would go like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. That. So you're gonna play. You can play that on the piano, or you can clap it to help your student. Rhythm is really important because it lets us know how long to hold the music. And so we have kind of 2 things going on. We not only have the notes themselves, but then they move up and down on the page. So your child's brain is having to compute the rhythm and the melody at the same time. This is called a rhythm guide, something that I use a lot with students, and they really find it enjoyable. We'll just take a food and we'll partner it with a rhythm: hot dog, grape soda, apple pie, hot fudge sundae, coconut shrimp. So I'll usually go over these with students and help them remember, and then I will ask them their favorite food, which a lot of times kids pick chips and guacamole, which I don't blame them. Very good taste. Or pepperoni pizza, of course. The next thing we have is just some sheets that I use with students, and it is them tracing quarter notes and showing me how they understand the quarter note and the half note and the whole note. These are located in kids' workbooks. And so if they go over these and drill these in their head, that helps them to understand the rhythm that they're working on. And then they can draw a row of whole notes here to let me know. A lot of times if you write, it just uses a different form of the brain. And so we'll draw out notes and their values. Whole notes are worth 4, half notes are worth 2, and quarter notes are worth how many? 1. Good. All right. And then this is how rhythm and notes combine together. So here we have C, D, C, D, C, D, C, D, D, C, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3. In part 1, we learned about the notes on the staff. This now combines rhythm and the notes together to partner to make the value of the note come into play. So that's really important to know. Here is what's called 3/4 time, and there's 3 beats in every measure. These are called measures, these little divisions of areas where the notes sit. And so this one would go like this. We go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You'll hear this kind of rhythm a lot in music that has a waltz beat to it, or like a merry-go-round, like. My boys love the merry-go-round at the zoo, and so this rings very special to my heart. That's 3/4. That's a little bit about rhythm. So rhythm is really important. So if you have any questions about how I can help you with that, I'm happy to answer some more questions. But check out Hudson Piano Studio, and hope you have a great day. Share this with some people that you might think need to know a little bit more about how to read music. Hope you have an awesome day, and talk to you at your next lesson.